In almost all coding languages, we are able to store data related to something. So whether it be a post or an image in WordPress, we can store that inside something called an object. So it's a bit like a container or a box that has all of the different parts of data inside of there. So on the right hand side with this code example, we have a variable called Lawrence, and in there we have a bunch of different data. We have my first name, my last name, location, and age. So if I take this, and you don't need to worry about copying this out, I'm just going to quickly show it off. I say PHP, and I'm going to close that tag off. We're going to have a variable called Lawrence, and it's stored inside an array in the PHP, which is a little bit confusing if you're coming from JavaScript. But the idea is we have what are called keys and then values. So much like we're used to with our CSS, we have a property name and then a value. But in PHP, it looks a little bit different. So we would have first name and then an arrow, and then the value of that first name would be Lawrence. We have a comma, then we have a last name, and that would be equal to, got it. We have location, which would be equal to London, and then we have my age as well, which would be equal to 27. So this is all well and good. We have this Lawrence variable. If I say echo Lawrence, we'll see what happens on our page. Let's scroll to the top. It just says array, which isn't very useful for us at all. But the way that we can get an individual attribute from this object looks like this. So we have a set of square brackets, and in there we put the name of the thing we want. So if I said first name, it would give me Lawrence. If I put last name, it will give me Gossip. So this is the idea of what we're going to do with our image. We're going to extract some of the data from it. So one thing that was a little bit annoying before is when we had Lawrence like that, it just said array. But if we wanted to see what was inside there, we can use something called print R. So if we want to inspect our code visibly on the page, we can use print R, and it will show us all the contents inside of that particular bit of data. So if I say echo, I don't even need echo, I can just say print R Lawrence. Let's see what that does. We now get a little peek inside what's there. So this is useful if you're kind of debugging things and want to know what the heck is going on with the data. Rather than just getting the word array, you can actually see what's inside of there. So we've introduced objects, how we store related data inside these containers, and how we get that data out using these square brackets and then the name of the thing that we want. So very similar to CSS, how we have the property name and then the value. And if you're used to JavaScript, I can show you a very quick example. If we go to clear, we can save our Lawrence is equal to, and then we have a set of curly brackets. JavaScript looks a little bit different. We have the property name, then a colon, then the value. So rather than having an arrow, we have a colon. So if I put that in, I say Lawrence.first name, I get back my first name, last name, location. So a little bit similar. We can actually do it the same as we're used to in PHP. So it would do the same again. And the idea of this is it's called an object, and we store data inside of it. So in our next video, we are going to take our image that we have on the page, we're going to add a caption to it, and then we're going to display that caption on the screen.